This odd, mysterious image was found in the depths of the internet and has ignited the imaginations of online commentators from around the world. It appears to depict a solitary submarine traveling through the ocean, totally oblivious to the fact that a shadowy figure swims alongside them. What is this thing? This dark entity seems to have numerous limbs and no discernible features. Perhaps it's one of the 86% of species scientists estimate we still haven't discovered in the ocean.
This is real? That's terrifying. First of all, I thought the submarine alone was just scary enough. Submarines are scary. They're so big, and I hate the videos of them just surfacing out of the water. Like, imagine just swimming and then out of the water comes a submarine. No, thank you. Freaky. And then there's this weird entity next to it. I guarantee there's scary creatures in the ocean that we haven't discovered that's bigger than a blue whale, bigger than anything. It's gonna look like the Kraken. That looks like the Kraken.
The marine flatworm is a soft-bodied invertebrate found all over the planet, and with no respiratory or circulatory organs, this curious creature relies on diffusions to breathe in oxygen. Their flowing, flattened shape allows oxygen and nutrients to pass through their bodies, and some species have even been observed growing their entire bodies back if they get chopped in half. As you may have guessed, this flatworm may be lacking a lot of organs, but it certainly isn't lacking in appetite.
Ugh, worms in general are disgusting, and that's the same is said about earthworms. You can chop them in half, don't recommend, but you can chop them in half and then they just become two separate worms. That's not normal behavior. If you're chopped in half, just die. Earthworm Jim. Amazing. I bet I could chop him right in half and he would just wiggle both ways.
Setu, also known as Adam's Bridge, is a series of limestone shoals that form a rough connection between the northwest coast of Sri Lanka and Pambon Island 30 miles away. The history of Rama Setu is intertwined with local legend. According to Hindu lore, it was built by an army of warrior monkeys known as Vanara to help the god Rama save his wife Sita from the demon king Ravana. While this origin story is widely treated as myth rather than reality, there are those who assert that Adam's Bridge was in fact built and was never a naturally occurring land bridge.
That's very, very cool. I didn't even know about this bridge that isn't a bridge but also is a bridge. I forgot what she said at the beginning, where it was located, but that is very, very cool. I mean, I wouldn't recommend walking it. You'd probably die. Seems right. It's just bang in the middle of the ocean. I don't want to go on that. No, thank you. I don't really want to be near the ocean at all. I don't want to be near a big body of water unless it's a bath. Also, every time I hear that woman's voice, I just think of that Tom Holland video. Please insert it. It's my new favorite thing.
Welcome to Watch Mojo.
Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Central Dark, your place for all things horror. I'm your host, Lucy McPhee, and these are the top 10 scary underwater unsolved mysteries. That's a mouthful. Let's jump in. Mouthful of water. Bad.
Julia is the name given to a mysterious sound picked up by the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. It only lasted 15 seconds, but it captivated the scientific community and amateur theorists alike.
What's that sound?
NOAA suggested that it most likely originated from an iceberg colliding with the landmass of Antarctica, but this cannot be proven. What we do know is that it was loud enough to resonate across a massive section of the ocean. Those willing to consider more out-there possibilities have suggested it could be the sound of a massive unknown creature.
I have listened to this noise before, and I think I had the exact same reaction, which was, is this not just how the ocean sounds? Because in my mind, if you put a camera underwater and it's recording audio, it's going to be like, don't you think, Chris? Like, and that's what this noise is. And they're like, wow, our minds are blown. I'm like, is it silent usually? Is it just no noise at all? I don't know. Like, there's no noise in space. Maybe there's no noise in the ocean.
But variables like temperature and the salinity levels can create entirely distinct sections, like lakes in oceans.
The jacuzzi, or sometimes hot tub moniker, is because it's warmer than the nearby 4 degrees Celsius ocean water. During return visits in 2015, researchers recorded temperatures from 7.8 up to 19 degrees.
At the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico, 3,300 feet below the surface of the ocean, researchers have found just such a body of water. 12 feet deep and roughly 32 feet across, this undersea lake might be small, but it certainly packs a punch. Dubbed the jacuzzi of despair, it kills any sea creature foolish enough to test its depths.
To be fair, whatever that sea creature was deserves to be killed. It's like, I hope it kills. It's like a lake within the ocean. That's pretty cool. But she explained it to me. Now I understand it. That's come up before where I'm like, how do you have a water in water, you know? Isn't it just water? But no, it's different temperature. Now it all makes sense. I mean, it really doesn't. But it kind of makes sense. Different temperature, different body of water. I still think it's just water and water, therefore it's just water. Everything's water. We're water. Do you know that? Everyone knows that. We're like 70% water, aren't we?
Guys, for one, finding this on a shakedown engineering dive, two, getting us all linked in and the opportunity to do this.
Marine archaeologists across the globe were immediately contacted to watch via live stream as the drone explored the ship. Apart from the number 2109, the researchers were unable to identify much about this ship of unknown origin. It's estimated to have been constructed 200 years ago, and based on the charred timber, it was likely burning when it sank.
That's sad. I bet ghost ships get envious of Titanic, don't you think? Like, this ghost ship, no one knows anything about it. They're like, oh, all we see is 2109, but everyone's like, Titanic, though. That's all we really care about. It's the only sunken ship anyone cares about. But this one, it's like, you don't even have a name. But good for you for sinking. Maybe one day we'll know more. But really, at the end of the day, we only care about Titanic. That one ship that sunk that one time, hundreds of years ago. Was it hundreds? Nah, just a few.
Alexandria was founded by Alexander the Great as he swept through Egypt in his quest to conquer the known world. Now, scientists have discovered hidden underwater traces of a city that existed at Alexandria at least 7 centuries before Alexander the Great arrived, findings hinted at in Homer's Odyssey, which could shed light on the ancient world. Alexandria was founded in Egypt on the shores of the Mediterranean in 332 BC to immortalize Alexander the Great. The city was renowned for its library, once the largest in the world, as well as its lighthouse at the island of Pharos, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
Alexandria was founded by Colin Farrell, apparently. Also, that movie sucks. But isn't this, I swear this is like a map in Assassin's Creed. I think you can go to Alexandria. Or I could be lying. I know very little about Alexandria. Is it underwater? I think that's what we're getting to. RIP to everyone in Alexandria. Specifically, Colin Farrell. Angelina Jolie was in that movie too. She's forgiven because she's very attractive.
After many decades, explorers believe they are one step closer to discovering the truth behind the mysterious 140,000-year-old Baltic Sea anomaly. Bearing a striking resemblance to the Star Wars Millennium Falcon, the Baltic Sea anomaly appears to be formed of pieces of angular metal, prompting claims it is a crashed UFO. Swedish explorer Peter Lindberg and his Ocean X team of marine explorers discovered the strange object during a dive, searching for an old shipwreck. Lindberg explained to local media that his crew discovered, on the 300-foot deep ocean floor between Finland and Sweden, a large circle about 60 feet in diameter.
That's 100% a UFO that crash landed before we had technology, before we had cameras, before anyone knew what an alien was. Because I doubt like cavemen were like, oh, alien, you know? They probably thought it was normal. Wonder if the aliens knew the cavemen. Maybe. Maybe we're too advanced now and that's why the aliens are shy.
A team sent by the Archaeological Superintendency of Tuscany began to excavate the ruins, hauling up planks of rotting wood. That cargo, it turned out, included ceramic vessels made to carry wine, glass cups from the Palestine area, and lamps from Asia Minor. But in 2004, the archaeologists discovered it also included something even more interesting: the remains of a 2,000-year-old medicine chest. Although the chest itself, which had presumably belonged to a Roman doctor, was apparently destroyed, researchers found a surgery hook, a mortar, 136 wooden drug vials, and several cylindrical tin vessels.
I mean, that's pretty damn cool. But it didn't help any of those, did they? It didn't help anyone back then. Everyone died young. So that medicine sucks. It's good that it sank. We don't need it. We've got better medicine now.
In October 2018, scientists traveling along the Bulgarian coast of the Black Sea discovered the world's oldest known boat, sitting at the bottom of the ocean. The researchers were stunned to find the merchant vessel closely resembled the design of a ship that decorated ancient Greek wine vases. The rudder, rowing benches, and even the contents of its hold remain intact. It's like another world, Helen Farr from the expedition told the BBC. While older intact sailing vessels have been recovered from Egyptian burial sites on land, it's unusual for submerged ancient wrecks to be preserved so well.
Again, I take it back. It's very impressive. It's very impressive, but you're not the Titanic. Therefore, we don't care about your sunken ship. But RIP to everyone who died. Well, there we have it. Thanks for tuning into this video. I've been your host, Lisa McPhee. Stick around for bloopers. Have you seen it? Where Tom Holland, do you like Tom Holland? Well, like, I don't like him too much, but I just liked this video where he fucking lost his mind when the Watch Mojo woman sat down to interview him. And he was like, "You're the Watch Mojo woman, do the intro, can you do the intro?" And she's like, "Welcome to Watch Mojo." And he like fucking loses his mind. And then they're like, "Oh, we love top 10 lists." He's okay, he's gotten better with age. Horse?
I said words.
Oh.
I just haven't seen him in a while.
I like him. He's made some in like The Lobster. That was a great movie. He's made some kooky movies and I enjoy it. Oh, Phone Booth. Iconic. I don't know. Just trying to get through this.